A new geopolitical storm is building over Ukraine, and this time, it's not coming from the battlefield, but from Western capitals. Britain has confirmed it is still preparing a multinational force for deployment inside Ukraine the moment a ceasefire takes hold. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, according to Reuters, told President Volodymyr Zelenskyy that coalition partners were continuing work on the mission and that London's commitment to putting troops on the ground remains unchanged. But Moscow has already fired a warning shot, calling any foreign deployment unacceptable. The diplomatic tension tightened further as French President Emmanuel Macron delivered one of his sharpest statements yet on the US-brokered peace plan. Speaking in Luanda, he insisted Europe wants peace, but not a peace that amounts to Ukraine's capitulation. In his words, any agreement that leaves Kyiv defenseless or gives Moscow complete freedom to advance is impossible. Macron said Europe must back Ukraine with robust security guarantees, including one crucial element: the regeneration of the Ukrainian army. On Washington's 28-point plan, Macron struck a cautious tone. He said it was a step in the right direction, but noted that several provisions must be renegotiated, including those urging Ukraine to cede territory, reduce its armed forces, and accept permanent exclusion from NATO. He argued that weakening Ukraine would only embolden Russia. If we are weak in Ukraine, he warned, we give up on Ukraine that very day. Macron also confirmed a major shift. European military forces will be stationed inside Ukraine once peace is established, operating far from front lines, focusing on training and security.
We want peace, pause. But we do not want a peace that is effectively a capitulation, pause, that is to say, one that places Ukraine in an impossible situation, pause, that gives Russia complete freedom to continue, to advance further, pause, including towards other Europeans, and to put all our security at risk.
Germany's plan.
The plan proposed by the United States,
it is an approach that goes in the right direction, peace. Then there are elements in this plan that deserve to be discussed, negotiated, and improved. That's why what we're saying is we must have robust security guarantees for Ukraine and for us, Europeans.
Concretely, these security guarantees today. The first of the security guarantees is the regeneration of the Ukrainian army. The first thing that will protect Ukraine is its own army. And so the entire debate that took place in Geneva these past few days was about not limiting the Ukrainian armed forces.
The great risk, and this is what you must grasp, if we are weak in Ukraine, if we say, so this is no longer our concern, deep down, they are very far off, as some people believe we will abandon Ukraine. That day you'll show a sign of weakness. The day you show weakness to Russia, which for 10 years has essentially made the strategic choice to become an imperial power again, meaning to advance wherever we are weak, it will continue to advance. The first thing that will protect Ukraine is its own army. So the whole debate in Geneva recently was about not restricting Ukraine's armed forces, because Russia's obsession, as seen in the Istanbul negotiations in spring 2022, is to say, your army must not exceed 50,000-60,000 men. We must not set limits for it. The first security guarantee for Ukrainians and for us is this strong army. So what do? We manage its training, its equipment, its ability to deploy over the coming months and years. The second part, the second line, is what we refer to as the reassurance forces. This means that far from the front line, we never intended to be on the front line, as we are not responsible for that. However, in fallback locations, in Kyiv, in Odessa, to give an example, things are planned. They involve a degree of confidentiality. It's more sophisticated. We implement reassurance forces, meaning that
with French and European soldiers,
they are British, French, and Turkish soldiers who, on the day peace is signed, so not in a wartime context, are there to conduct training and security operations, just as we do in certain countries on NATO's eastern flank. This will be a different case because it's not NATO, it's an intergovernmental coalition, but we have about 20 countries that have already said they're ready to act actively, whether by air, land or sea. For example, to demystify things and be very technical, we will create an aerial reassurance force. It won't necessarily be based in Ukraine. It could be based in neighboring countries, that's more likely, but with operations coordinated with the Ukrainian Air Force to secure its airspace.